Level 1. The Abyssal Trauma. The first level isn't just bad, it's career-ending, legacy-destroying, wake up in cold sweats 10 years later bad. These are performances so catastrophic they become the only thing people remember. Loris Karius, May 26, 2018. Kiev, Champions League final. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. The match was tight. Liverpool had lost Salah to injury, but they were holding their own. Then the 51st minute happened. Karius collected a routine through ball. Simple stuff. He looked to distribute quickly to Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right. And then, in a moment of complete spatial blindness, he rolled the ball directly past Karim Benzema, who was standing 3 feet away. Benzema didn't even have to try. He just stuck out a lazy leg. The ball deflected into the empty net. 1-0 Madrid. But Karius wasn't done. Fast forward to the 83rd minute. Gareth Bale launches a speculative shot from 30 yards out. It's got pace, sure, but it's not moving that much. Karius positions himself correctly, but his hands, soft and uncoordinated, just let the ball slip through. Straight into the net. 3-1 Madrid. Game over. After the match, Karius was in tears, apologising to the travelling fans. His match rating, 4.4, the lowest on the pitch. Days later, it came out that he'd suffered a concussion earlier in the match from a collision with Sergio Ramos. That explains the cognitive errors, the visual processing failures. But football doesn't care about medical charts. It judges outcomes. Liverpool broke the world transfer record that summer to sign Alisson Becker. Karius' career at the top level was over. Then there's Moachir Barbosa. If Karius represents a technical collapse, Barbosa represents a tragedy of national proportions. 1950 World Cup. Brazil hosting. They needed just a draw against Uruguay in the final match to claim the title. The mood wasn't hope. It was premature celebration. Newspapers had already printed "Champions of the World" before kickoff. Nearly 200,000 people packed the Maracana. The match was tied 1-1 in the second half. Uruguay's winger, Alcides Gigia, attacked down the right. Earlier in the game, Gigia had crossed from a similar position. Barbosa, anticipating another cross, took a decisive step away from his near post. Gigia noticed. He shot low toward the near post instead. Barbosa realised his mistake too late. He dove desperately, but his momentum was moving the wrong way. The ball slipped under his body and into the net. The stadium fell into a silence so deafening, it's been described as one of the most haunting moments in sports history. Barbosa was scapegoated for the defeat. He became a pariah. Decades later, he said, "Under Brazilian law, the maximum sentence is 30 years, but my imprisonment has been for 50. He called it the crime I did not commit. That's level 1. A single, split-second decision that carries the weight of a nation's trauma for half a century. And let's not forget Robert Green. England versus USA. 2010 World Cup. The 41st minute. Clint Dempsey fires a shot from 25 yards. Low, lacking power, directed almost straight at Green. This is a bread-and-butter save. Green goes down on one knee to collect it. Standard long barrier technique. But his execution is flawed. He doesn't get his body fully behind the ball. His hand placement is asymmetrical. The ball strikes his wrist, spins backward off his thumb, and trickles across the line. England's defence, previously confident, became jittery. The draw felt like a defeat. Green was dropped for the next match. His international career never recovered. That's the psychological contagion of a goalkeeper's mistake. It infects the entire team. Level 2. The glitch in the matrix. Level 2 is different. These aren't bad goalkeepers. They're elite athletes who suffer a singular, fatal misjudgment that defies their usual standard. A glitch in the system. David Seaman. England versus Brazil. 2002 World Cup quarter-final. Seaman was an institution in English football. Reliable, steady, trusted. but he was 38, and Father Time was knocking. Brazil won a free kick roughly 35 to 40 yards from goal, prime crossing territory. Seaman, anticipating a lofted ball into the crowded box, took 2 aggressive steps off his line. Standard positioning for intercepting crosses. Dangerous against a player of Ronaldinho's genius. Ronaldinho struck the ball with a unique trajectory. High, looping, dipping at the last second. Seaman realised the ball was on target and tried to backpedal. His footwork, hindered by age, was insufficient. He could only flail backwards as the ball dropped into the top corner. The debate raged for years. Did Ronaldinho mean it? He claimed he spotted Seaman off his line. English players like Sol Campbell called it a fluke. Regardless, the error was Seaman's. At the World Cup level, you cannot allow yourself to be beaten from 40 yards, no matter the shooter's intent. Then there's Hugo Lloris. 2018 World Cup final, France versus Croatia. France are leading 4-1 in the 69th minute. The match is effectively won. Lloris receives a back pass in his own 6-yard box. Mario Mandzukic presses him, but lazily. Instead of clearing the ball or passing it simply to a defender, Lloris attempts a Cruyff turn, or maybe a dribble. It's a moment of supreme arrogance, or perhaps boredom. Mandzukic simply sticks out a leg. The ball deflects into the empty net. 4-2. Unlike Karius, Lloris didn't crumble. He'd made vital saves earlier in the tournament, but the error betrayed a lack of professional seriousness. It gave Croatia a lifeline and created a nervous final 20 minutes that should have been a procession. That's level 2. A moment of madness from someone who should know better. Level 3. The narrative of redemption. Level 3 is where we see the difference between the mentally elite and the mentally fragile. The goalkeeper commits a catastrophic error, but demonstrates the fortitude to recover within the same match and positively influence the outcome. Unai Simon. Spain versus Croatia. Euro 2020 round of 16. This performance is a perfect 3-act structure. Act 1. The trauma. 20th minute. Spanish teenager Pedri plays a firm, bouncing back pass to Simon from near the halfway line. Seaman attempts to control it with his right foot, but loses concentration on the ball's trajectory. The ball skims over his boot and rolls agonizingly into the net. A humiliating own goal. Croatia 1, Spain 0. Most goalkeepers would disintegrate, hide, shrink. But Simon's reaction was remarkable. He didn't hide. He continued to offer himself as a passing option, demonstrating immense bravery in possession. He made several key interventions as the match finished 3-3 in regulation time. Act 3. The redemption. Extra time. The match is balancing on a knife edge. Croatia's Andrej Kramaric finds himself with a glorious chance to score. Simon produces a game-saving reflex save from point-blank range. This save energized the Spanish team, who went on to win 5-3. His coach, Luis Enrique, later highlighted this mental turnaround as a lesson in resilience. "Football is a sport of mistakes," he said. "Your attitude after the mistake is what matters." Simon's performance was statistically mixed, but psychologically triumphant. That's level 3. The ability to stare down your worst nightmare and come out the other side stronger. Level 4. The technical fortress. Level 4 represents the ideal baseline for a world-class goalkeeper. These performances may not feature impossible saves that make highlight reels, but they're characterized by flawless positioning, handling, and distribution. Alisson Becker. Liverpool versus Tottenham. 2019 Champions League final. If Karius in 2018 was chaos, Alisson in 2019 was order. Liverpool took an early lead through a penalty, forcing Tottenham to chase the game. In the second half, Spurs laid siege to the Liverpool goal. Alisson was called upon to make 8 saves, a high number for a Champions League final. But the quality of these saves lay in their lack of drama. When Christian Eriksen fired a dipping free kick late in the game, Alisson didn't punch it. He caught it and fell to the ground to kill time. When Son Heung-min fired a powerful drive, Alisson parried it away from oncoming attackers into a safe zone. His positioning was so mathematically precise that he rarely had to dive at full stretch. He made the difficult look routine. His passing accuracy of 86.34% also allowed Liverpool to relieve pressure effectively. This performance was the foundational bedrock upon which Liverpool's 6th European title was built. A clean sheet secured not by luck, but by competence. That's level 4. Efficiency, assurance, perfection. Level 5. The statistical anomaly. Level 5 performances occur when a goalkeeper enters a flow state, repelling an overwhelming volume of shots that statistically should result in multiple goals. These matches see the goalkeeper as the single point of resistance against a superior force. Tim Howard, USA versus Belgium. 2014 World Cup round of 16. This performance is historic for its sheer statistical absurdity. It remains the record for the most saves in a single World Cup match since FIFA began tracking the stat in 1966. Belgium dominated from the first whistle, bypassing the US midfield with ease. Howard faced a total of 39 shots, 16 of which were on target. The saves were varied. Reaction saves with his feet, tipping shots over the bar, smothering one-on-ones against Divock Origi and Romelu Lukaku. Although the USA eventually lost 2-1 in extra time, Howard single-handedly kept the game 0-0 for 90 minutes. The performance was so dominant, it sparked a viral internet trend. #Things Tim Howard could save. The dinosaurs. The Titanic. He was briefly edited on Wikipedia to be listed as the Secretary of Defense of the United States. Then there's Guillermo Ochoa, Mexico versus Brazil. Same tournament. Ochoa made 6 crucial saves to hold Brazil to a 0-0 draw. But one moment defined the match. 26th minute. Neymar rose to power a header toward the bottom corner. It was destined for the side netting. Ochoa, moving to his right, dove and scooped the ball off the line with reflex speed that drew immediate comparisons to Gordon Banks' legendary save against Pelé in 1970. Unlike Howard, Ochoa's performance secured a tangible result, a point against the tournament favourites. This match cemented Ochoa's reputation as a World Cup specialist, a player who elevates his game to level 5 specifically on the global stage. And Keylor Navas, Costa Rica versus Greece. 2014 World Cup round of 16. After Costa Rica was reduced to 10 men in the 66th minute, they were subjected to a relentless Greek bombardment. Navas made a string of saves in regulation and extra time to keep the score at 1-1. The performance culminated in the penalty shootout. Navas saved the decisive penalty from Theofanis Gekas, a one-handed, high dive to his right to push a well-struck ball away. This performance wasn't just about shot stopping. It was about carrying a Cinderella nation on his back, directly leading to his transfer to Real Madrid that summer. Level 6. The Championship Shield. Level 6 performances are those that directly result in major trophies. Unlike Level 5, which often occurs in draws or valiant defeats, Level 6 performances are the decisive factor in finals. Peter Čech, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. 2012 Champions League final. Playing against Bayern in their own stadium, the Allianz Arena, Chelsea were massive underdogs. Bayern dominated the match, but Čech kept Chelsea alive. His defining moment came in extra time. After Didier Drogba conceded a penalty, Arjen Robben stepped up to win the cup for Bayern. Čech, having studied Robben's tendencies, dove low to his left, but stayed big, trapping the ball and preventing it from crossing the line. In the penalty shootout, Čech's preparation was evident. He dove the correct way for every single one of Bayern's 5 penalties. He saved from Ivica Olic and Bastian Schweinsteiger, allowing Drogba to score the winner. Mario Gomez later called Čech a monster, admitting that the goalkeeper's presence made the goal seem smaller. Čech didn't just make saves, he psychologically dismantled the opposition shooters. Then there's Peter Shilton, Nottingham Forest versus Hamburg, 1980. European Cup final. Defending champions Forest were besieged by a Hamburg side led by Kevin Keegan. Forest took an early lead through John Robertson and then retreated into a defensive shell. Shilton was the last line under constant pressure. Reports from the match describe Shilton as saving everything, including the kitchen sink. His most crucial intervention was a save from a Felix Magath free kick, which he tipped away with supreme agility. Shilton's performance was characterized by his ability to hold on to shots rather than parrying them, killing Hamburg's momentum. It was a clean sheet earned through 90 minutes of unwavering focus, ensuring Brian Clough's side retained their European crown. That's level 6, the Championship Shield. Peter Schmeichel, Denmark versus Germany, Euro 1992 final. Denmark hadn't even qualified for the tournament, entering only after Yugoslavia was disqualified due to war. Within weeks, they were facing world champions Germany in the final. Schmeichel's physical presence in this match was overwhelming. Utilizing his trademark star jump technique, borrowed from handball, he made himself enormous in one-on-one situations. He made 3 world-class saves in the final. The Klinsmann header, a full-stretch tip over the bar from a Jürgen Klinsmann header that seemed destined for the top corner. The Reuter one-on-one. Stefan Reuter broke through on goal, but Schmeichel charged off his line, narrowing the angle and blocking the shot with his chest. And the cross-claiming. In an era where back passes were legal, Schmeichel killed the game by repeatedly catching crosses one-handed, relieving all pressure on his defence. His performance was the bedrock of Denmark's shocking 2-0 victory. He didn't just stop the ball, he intimidated the German strikers into submission. Level 7. The transcendental. Level 7 represents the pinnacle of the sport. These performances combine the statistical volume of level 5, the winning impact of level 6, and a touch of destiny or magic that defies explanation. Iker Casillas, Spain versus Netherlands, 2010 World Cup final. This performance is defined by a single split-second intervention that altered the course of football history. 62nd minute, score locked at 0-0. Dutch winger Arjen Robben played a 1-2 that put him cleanly through on goal. It was a perfect one-on-one situation. Robben waited for Casillas to commit. Casillas dove to his left, anticipating a shot across his body. However, as Casillas dove, he left his right leg trailing. Robben shot back toward the middle. The ball struck the very tip of Casillas' right boot, his toe, and deflected inches wide of the post. Casillas later admitted that Robben scores that chance 9 times out of 10. The save was a mixture of technical preparation and sheer desperation. It kept Spain in the game, allowing Andrés Iniesta to score the winner in extra time. It remains the defining image of Spain's golden era. A moment where the goalkeeper's limb became the barrier between national glory and heartbreak. Helmut Dukadam, Steaua Bucharest versus Barcelona, 1986 European Cup final, Seville. This is the performance that shouldn't exist. The match itself was a tense defensive battle that ended 0-0 after 120 minutes. Barcelona, playing effectively at home in Spain, were widely expected to win. Steaua game plan relied heavily on containment, dragging the game into a shootout where they hoped luck would intervene. Luck didn't intervene. Dukadam did. In the penalty shootout, he achieved the impossible. 4 consecutive penalties, 4 consecutive saves. Jose Ramon Alexanco stepped up first. Dukadam dove to his right, saved. Angel Pedraza next. Dukadam dove to his right again, saved. Pichi Alonso third. Now, this is where it gets psychological. Dukadam, in a game of logic, deduced that the taker would expect him to change sides, so he dove right for a third time, saved. Marcos took the final penalty. Dukadam finally switched, diving to his left to deny him and win the European Cup for Steaua. Steaua won the shootout 2-0 without Barcelona even getting on the score sheet. They became the first Eastern European club to lift the trophy. Duckerdam was dubbed the Hero of Seville, having single-handedly neutralised the entire Barcelona team from the spot. 4 penalties, 4 saves. That's not just transcendent, that's statistically impossible, and yet, it happened. And finally, Emiliano Martínez, Argentina versus France. 2022 World Cup final. The most recent and perhaps most dramatic entry into Level 7. 123rd minute. The score is 3-3 in the dying seconds of extra time. A defensive error puts French striker Randal Kolo Muani through on goal. A goal would have ended the match instantly. Martinez advanced and spread his body into a wide X shape. He blocked Kolo Muani's powerful volley with his outstretched left calf. The expected goals value of that chance was massive. Saving it was a miracle of reflex and positioning. In the subsequent penalty shootout, Martinez took control. He saved Kingsley Coman's penalty and used aggressive antics, throwing the ball away, talking to kickers to force Aurélien Tchouameni to miss. His performance forced FIFA to subsequently change the rules regarding goalkeeper conduct during penalties. He literally changed the laws of the game through his dominance. From Karius' nightmare in Kiev to Martinez's miracle in Qatar, the 7 levels of goalkeeper performances show us something profound. The margin between tragedy and immortality is terrifyingly thin. Sometimes it's just 3 inches. Sometimes it's just a split second. Karius' fingers were too soft. Casillas' toe was just rigid enough. That's the difference. So here's the question. If you had to pick one goalkeeper from this list to save your life in a penalty shootout, who are you choosing? The ice-cold Czech, the cat-like Casillas, or the mind game master Martínez? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you check out this video next, where we rank the 7 levels of a football striker. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.